And y'all know I had to comment on this. Your boy Big Gipp from Goodie Mob was on According to Hip Hop um, podcast, and they were speaking on Tupac and the album that was slated to come out with Goodie Mob and Tupac. That would have been an epic, super gangster, super conscious, super everything album. But I'm gonna let y'all take a look at this clip, and I'm gonna come back with my commentary.
Pac was gonna do an album with Goodie Mob. Like, is there any truth to that? And
Yeah, it's truth to that. You know, before he got out and went death row, he was already calling our office and was like, "Yo, when I get out, I'm coming to Atlanta. My mom's staying in Stone Mountain." So Pac was always just in Atlanta. He was always in Decatur. Like he used to. His brother had a house around Atrium.
okay,
So he used to always be in that neighborhood. People be like, "Yo, we saw Tupac at the bus stop, just smoking a cigarette, chilling." Like that's how he used to kick it in Atlanta. His mama stayed in Stone Mountain, so and his brother had a crib over there, you know, on the east side. So I just felt like Pac knew that he had did New York, he had did LA, and I think he wanted to come and finish his career off in Atlanta.
Now that is what I'm talking about. Of course, they didn't get a chance to record this album and do the album, but I 100% believe what Big Gipp is saying, because being an Atlanta native, Tupac definitely was in Atlanta, and he did have an influence in Atlanta. If y'all don't know, Tupac does have a kind of like a museum or slash kind of like center named after him. His mom in Stone Mountain named a center after Tupac. So they definitely had an imprint, and Big Gipp is 100% telling the truth. I think this would have been an epic album. This would have been something for the ages. It would have been something that turned Atlanta into an even bigger powerhouse than it is now. And that is saying a lot, man. And Tupac was one of those people, if he rocked with you, he rocked with you. And he wasn't afraid to do music with other genres, other types of people, and kept it pushing and had relationships with a lot of people. And that's the thing that people don't get about greatness. Greatness recognize other greatness. So even though he was doing his thing up north and did his thing on the West Coast, he always recognized the South as somewhere he wanted to be. And again, his mom did stay here in Georgia, in Stone Mountain actually, and his brother had a place out here. So I would say overall, this was a really well thought out, like just a thing that made sense, because you had Tupac. Yeah, he did gangster shit, but he also did very conscious shit. And Goodie Mob, of course, was on that same wave of doing gangster shit, but in a conscious way. And that was a marriage I think Tupac was also ready to get back into. He did have his conscious record, but on Death Row, I think he was pushed more to do the gangster shit than doing something like what he was doing before he was on Death Row. And it was, again, he's a grown man. It was his decision either way. But I think seeing what Goodie Mob was doing at the time was a wake up call for Pac to be like, you know what? Let me get over here. Let me still do what I do. And man, that would have been so huge for the city, man. That would have been huge for even him, because you're merging the worlds, the kind of what he had in his head with his mom being a Black Panther and having a background, and his aunties and uncles being in the Black Panther and being associated with fighting for the rights of black people. So I 100%, man. Shout out to Goodie Mob. Shout out to Big Gipp, man. Rest in peace, Afeni Shakur. Rest in peace, Tupac. This was a great snippet, man. Make sure y'all watch the whole interview at According to Hip Hop. And you know, salute to Goodie Mob, salute to Big Gipp, salute to everybody that's doing these interviews and, man, really keeping Tupac's name and legacy alive. And also, don't forget, man, you know, you can have your gangster shit, your gangster music, but don't forget, man, you know, we still have to fight. We still have to fight. It's still things for us to do in this community. But I want to know what y'all think about it. Do y'all think this was a great step for Tupac? Or do you think, you know, it would have been all right? Let me know, man. Make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe. Your boy DJ Cree, man.